be honest, yo. I've been judged in front of millions and millions of people before in my lifetime, and I can take it.
Hey there, I'm Jessie, and while most days I'm the food and health editor at Well+Good, today I'm hosting our new show, Cook With Us, where we're inviting some of our favorite healthy chefs to cook with us. And so I'm joined here today by Dale. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I am the chef and partner at Goose Feather Restaurant, located in Tarrytown, New York. I am a new father, and I am—
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm partners with my wife in our restaurant group called Food Crush Hospitality.
That's really exciting. Well, I'm so glad that you're here today because obviously you're a chef, you cook all the time, you're great at it, which is great because we have a little bit of a challenge for you today.
Bring it on.
So the challenge is making a full meal vegetarian fried rice in under 30 minutes. And then we also want you to do it without rice.
So the veggie fried rice, totally doable.
Okay.
Protein, got it. It's the time restraint you're putting on this. That is the curveball in this entire situation. Typically chopping and mincing and dicing and slicing and cleaning vegetables, that's like 15 minutes of your prep time. So that's really the hardest part. But I got a few hacks that I use at home. One of the things I do is buying frozen vegetables. They're so easy and convenient.
Yeah,
And then two, it's using really nice salad bars as your mise en place.
Oh,
Where they-
interesting.
yeah, they
like, because it's
have-
all pre-cut, like in the salad bar.
They did all the work for you, you know? So as much integrity I have in my cooking at home, any minute you can save to get food on a plate, to get to either you or your family, it's like so valuable.
Okay, so for our challenge today, how are you gonna pull this off?
So the first thing you need to do for this is assemble the sauce.
All right, what do we need to do for this sauce?
We have tamari, and this is the base. This is where you're gonna get all your salt, your umami, the
And
real—
this is the gluten-free soy sauce, correct?
This is the foundation of the entire fried rice. So we have soy, rice wine vinegar, which I love this, bright acidity to this dish. I think it really keeps everything interesting on your palate, right? And with the sesame oil, it's not a cooking oil, it's a flavoring agent. So this has a very low smoke point. So not using too much just to make sure that it has a flavor, but doesn't like kind of get acrid and burnt on you. So here's your sauce.
That's it, those 3 things made our sauce.
3 things made our sauce.
Very impressed.
So what's next is if you can grab me that bowl and 2 of those eggs.
Okay.
When I first started making fried rice, my chef was like, all fried rices start with scrambled eggs. So one of my secrets to this too is adding a little oil into your eggs.
Okay, just like kind of a regular
A neutral oil works, but high temperature neutral oil. So something that has a really high smoke point. We have a little bit of knife work left to do.
Okay.
The aromatics of scallions. And what I like to do is just cut the whites into rondelles like this. So everything kind of here has the same size.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the same cooking time. So that's very important.
And it'll all cook evenly too.
Yes. So then right about when I get to the greens, because they cook in such a shorter amount of time, I cut them into about 1-inch lengths.
Ah, so here we have all of our pre-prepped veggies.
Yes.
So walk me through kind of like what we're gonna be putting into the rice today.
Starting at the bottom corner here are all the aromatics, right?
Okay.
Onion, green scallions, I have kimchi. Underneath this is ginger and garlic. This is what's gonna flavor the entire thing.
Yeah.
So with these aromatics, this is kind of the non-negotiable in this. I mean, you might not want kimchi, but ginger,
You'd be
garlic,
wrong, though.
onions, yeah, I know, it'd be so good. Everything else is just, what do you like to eat or what do you have in the fridge that you gotta get rid of?
Oh, I always have that problem.
So
Constantly.
this stuff always is there, but then everything else you can kind of supplement. If you don't have bean sprouts or radishes, that's fine.
And then we've got mushrooms here.
Shiitake mushrooms, we
Yeah.
have shredded Brussels sprouts.
And then what's the greens over here?
The greens are Chinese broccoli.
Oh, yeah.
For me, it feels healthy.
Absolutely, between this and the nutrition aspects, like you've already got like pretty high points right now. We haven't even really started. And I see that there's some peppers chilling out over here.
Yep.
What do we want to do with those?
So we're gonna mince those Thai chilies. This is one of those things that's very optional, depending on how much you like heat, how much you can handle.
Some like it hot.
Yeah, and some don't at all. If you like heat, but you don't want, to be biting into it, another thing to do here is just kind of smash it and then add it into the pan. People can fish it out if they want to bite into it.
The wimps.
Yeah, of course.
So it looks like we've got a mix of riced cauliflower and broccoli. You can pretty easily find that pre-packaged, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I didn't spend time cutting that's for sure.
Okay, so we've got all of our stuff pre-prepped, ready to go. So what do we do next?
So next, we have to get a pan hot. I recommend a cast iron pan over a wok. even if you have a wok at home.
Mm-hmm.
Woks are meant to be underneath like a couple 100,000 BTU.
Oh, okay, so like
So
super hot.
most kitchens don't have that firepower.
Mm-hmm.
This is requiring something that stays hot and gets a little bit of that, what they call wok hay, which is it means the breath of a wok. So it kind of means like that carbon that comes off the wok.
Okay.
And that's the flavor of real traditional stir-fried Chinese cooking. So next, if you could pass me that oil.
And this is that same neutral oil as before
Correct.
that we use with the eggs.
Correct.
Awesome.
And what I do is, I mean, it seems like a lot of oil, but what you realize is that this is gonna be full of vegetables.
Yeah.
And this is gonna carry the heat. So we're gonna get this eggs in.
That is a hot pan.
Yeah. This is gonna happen really, really quickly, the scrambled eggs. But you wanna get the eggs all around the pan,
Okay.
so it kind of like helps that non-stick. Can you grab me a new bowl?
Here you go.
Great, thank you.
That was like a 10-second egg. That was so fast. You were not joking.
I'll take a little bit more oil, and then it's just all the kitties in the pool.
And do you have an order of preference
When
first?
your pan is this hot,
It doesn't really
it doesn't really matter. So we're starting with aromatics, but as soon as the aromatics, I could smell the intensity of the kimchi and the scallions and the onions, which
Then
is
you
really
just
gonna be
add
at 3
everything
seconds.
else.
You start throwing everything in.
Okay.
We're gonna start with some onion,
Okay.
scallions. We're gonna go with all this now.
Yum. Oh, this smells so good. Whoa, that is a hot pan. Hot
Yeah.
pan.
Like I said, immediately you can smell
Yeah.
the aroma off this, right? So we're gonna do breakfast radishes, Chinese broccoli. And I love with this Chinese broccoli that the stem and the leaves kind of cook at 2 different temperatures because the stem will always stay a little crunchy.
A little crunchier, yeah. So then it gives you some extra texture in there too.
The protein of the dish
The
is the
mushrooms.
shiitake mushrooms,
Yep.
and then the bean sprouts. I like when bean sprouts are wilted as opposed to kind of like really, really crunchy. I think they get sweeter as they cook down a little bit. The Thai chilies.
Do we want any of those guys
Yep.
over here?
And we're gonna do some Brussels sprouts.
Yum.
So you'll see that it's right now, it's just totally releasing some water. You can see it coming up now.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna add our broccoli cauliflower, which is the main part of this dish, right?
Yeah.
And then give this some turns, toss and turns.
There are so many vegetables going on here. Like I feel like everyone would get all the brownie points for eating this.
Oh, for sure. If
Yeah.
you could do me a favor and grab me a little bit more of that oil. Great.
Look at that.
Yep. So the oil is gonna kind of make all the flavors really kind of combine and sing.
And especially certain vitamins are fat soluble as opposed to water soluble. So it's always good to pair a vegetable with a fat.
And you could even tell that the volume of this is kind of decreased.
Yeah,
right?
it's starting like it was so
mounted
full
up. Yeah,
before.
it
Yeah.
mounted up. You know, you can already see that this is almost done. The radishes are trying to become a little bit more translucent. You can smell the heat of the chili.
Yeah, I wish there was like smell-o-vision on this camera because it smells so good. Oh.
Do you get docked for messiness on this
No.
on this challenge? Okay, good. So here's our sauce from before. And if
Okay.
you can hand me those scrambled eggs that we had from
Yep.
earlier. Now is the time for these to go back in.
Ooh, that sizzle. And so now you're kind of like breaking up the egg as well.
Yeah,
with
the egg, it's
everything.
kind of broken up into here.
Oh,
Done.
mic drop.
What's good also about a cast iron pan is like if we're gonna do something like a garnish afterwards, like we're gonna put an egg on top of this.
We're gonna put more eggs?
Put more eggs in it.
Love it.
That's fried rice without a fried egg on top of it.
A sad fried rice, that's
Yeah,
bad.
my wife would be like, how dare you?
Here you go. And this can just kind of like chill off
This
the
is
heat,
done.
which is nice.
This is done.
That's awesome.
So we're just gonna get this pan with a little bit of oil.
So you just heated up the oil here, and then
Yeah.
you're just breaking eggs straight into the pan. Love it.
Super easy. To end this, if you had peanuts laying around, toasted fried shallots laying around, if you had
You could really
walnuts.
up the ante, yeah.
Yeah, you could just like say, hey, you know what? These have been here for a while, and I need to
use them up.
I
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
use them. I think that's what's great about like stir fries and fried rice and stuff. It's like it's a way for you to
Yeah.
kind of utilize what's in your pantry. Anything that you can eat in a bowl sitting on your couch with the TV on is like a win for me.
Oh, yeah.
So like this
Is
is
it-
exactly the meal. This is exactly that meal.
What is your TV of choice when you are doing that?
This is super nerdy, but I watch a lot of cooking. I still watch a lot of
There's a
food
lot of
stuff.
food.
I do. I watch so much food stuff. It's like
I mean, it's very on brand. That's
it
fair.
is, and and as my wife, it gets nerdy and obsessively nerdy. One more thing. I love this. It's something that my wife has put me onto also. It's kind of like topping things with shredded seaweed.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, no. So
Where do you find that? Just like at a Asian grocery store?
yeah, at any Asian grocer,
Yeah.
they'll have this stuff. And it adds, to me, another level of umami.
And kind of like, the salty,
Yeah,
salty
that's
brininess.
that real nice savoriness that you want in dishes and really keeps you coming back to it. It makes it feel hearty.
Yeah.
So there's the final dish.
I'm super excited about this. So what do you recommend for kind of like the perfect
Crack the
bite?
egg.
Crack the egg?
Crack
Okay.
the egg, and then just kind of dig in. Let that yolk kind of get in there, and then just jump in.
Watch me very gracefully eat here. Okay. Oh my God, that is so good. I just got a huge bite of ginger and it's delicious. Like, I love all the time and effort that you put into getting like aromatic things in there, because I think that really adds an extra layer of flavor that I don't get from takeout. And I really, really, really like the seaweed flakes on here.
Yeah.
So I think from all of our criteria, I think that you get, for creativity, I think that you get a 8 out of 10, I would say, because like we've got, well,
Yeah.
8 out of 10? 9 out of 10? I think you get pretty high marks because...
Be honest, yo. I've been judged in front of millions and millions of people before in my lifetime, and I can take it.
Okay,
I got
okay.
a thick skin.
Okay. I will say for creativity, you get a 9 out of 10 because I really like all of the amazing different vegetables in here. Almost none of them are commonly used in fried rice, so I really appreciated that.
Cool.
And then I think that brings us then to nutrition, which is like a 10,000 out of 10, because we've got a really rich, almost completely vegetable-based dish. We're getting lots of like antioxidants, lots of nutrients, lots of anti-inflammatory benefits, lots of fiber, which is always crucial, and we're doing it all with like a wide variety of vegetables, which is great. Plus you get the protein from 2 different sources. You've got the mushrooms, and you have like the double eggs, so really from like 3 sources, which again is really impressive, and I think that'll all come together to keep somebody like really full and happy. Flavor-wise, it's like, I can't, like a 10 bajillion out of 10.
Thank you.
Truly. Yeah, it's so good. Like, I think the sauce is amazing. I love that you use kimchi.
All my fried rices have kimchi in it.
And then in terms of time and ease, I think we have a real winner here. I'm really into how quickly this all came together. Like, literally as soon as you put it in the pan, like this was done in like 5-7 minutes. The thing about it that, like you mentioned at the beginning, that makes it a little bit trickier in terms of the ease factor is that cutting up vegetables takes forever by kind of working with, you know, things that you can get at the grocery store that are already kind of like pre-cut for you to really help save on time. It might be slightly more expensive, but I think sometimes, like in terms of like a cost savings benefit, I personally find it absolutely worth it.
You know,
overall, just like
as far as
I'm totally
creativity
blown away.
goes,
Yeah.
I wanted to use sunflower seeds. Like
Sunflower seeds instead of the cauliflower?
yes, instead of the cauliflower, like sunflower seeds cooked in a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
And then I realized it was gonna be like $100 of sunflower seeds, and it would take like 2 hours to prep the sunflower seeds. So while I'm glad I went with something easier, like cauliflower rice, I think I lost points on creativity, because if this was a sunflower seed fried rice, I think it would have been delicious, but I would have gotten knocked on time. They're like, hey, how do I have 3 hours to pressure cook sunflower seeds?
But I mean, like in your own defense, I'm the judge and I'm defending him. I'm such a weirdo. But I will say, in your own defense, like you really brought back the creativity because you did a lot with like a pretty tight amount of ingredients, especially with the sauce. Like the fact that the sauce really only had like 3 ingredients in it, and it was so rich and flavorful and just added so much more to this dish. Like I think it just like you really knocked it out of the park.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being here. This was so much fun. I feel like I learned a ton. And
Well, thanks for having me.
yeah, so thank you so much. I'm gonna keep eating this rice. If you like what you saw today and you wanna see more, please subscribe to Well+Good, and you can watch all of the shows. Meanwhile, you can just watch us eat this rice. A little spoon cheers.